This short video is intended to support anyone who's facing a crisis. It could be a natural disaster. It could be an immediate personal crisis in your family. It could be some other situation that has overwhelmed your nervous system. And I'm just going to walk you briefly through the SCOPE method that was developed by Somatic Experiencing International for crisis safety and stabilization. So S stands for slow down. And one of the things that can be really helpful in the given moment is to just see if you can take a moment and notice something that is slower than the pace that your nervous system is going at the moment. So if things have sped up, or things are too fast, there's a rush or a sense of urgency, or a sense that there's immediate danger. If there is immediate danger, be sure to look after your own immediate safety and use that energy that has been mobilized in service of protecting yourself or protecting others. But if the urgency you feel, or that sense of rushing around danger, is not related to what is happening now and is left over from something that happened an hour ago, a day ago, and you're still feeling the heightened response, take a moment and see what it's like to just slow the pace and bring your attention to a rhythm that might be different than the one that your body is currently caught in. Again, different from an immediate need to take action for your own safety and protection. C is connect with your body. Take a moment to notice the edges of your body. If it helps, you might press along the outsides of your body. Or feel the feeling of your feet on the ground, or sense the support of something that's beneath you or holding you. You might notice the contact of something supportive against your body that helps you find your body again. It may be that what helps you to find your body is a little bit of movement that is slower. Notice how movement, if you engage in movement, might help you to feel your body. And come back into your body if you've been outside of it, rushing too far along ahead in order to try to escape or to handle whatever is going on. Sometimes what helps us feel our body is physical contact, like I'm doing right here. She really enjoys belly rubs and belly scratches. And she'll move away from food in order to receive that. So you see what it's like for you to connect with your own body right now. Maybe there's a place inside your body that feels comfortable, feels supportive. It feels like the opposite of the rushing that you've been feeling. There might be a part of your body that is calling to you for attention, kind of like Ruby here. So notice how you listen to that. See if you can sense that support of the ground as it supports your body, as you become a little bit more fully present. O is orient. See if you can allow your eyes to soften a little bit and notice what you notice around you. Maybe there's something that your senses really like. Brando and Ruby are oriented to food and to comfort today. It's a beautiful fall morning where we live. And so she's following her senses, what she's drawn towards in terms of stimulation, what will nourish her right now, what nourishes him right now. So notice what happens if you allow your senses to soften, and see if there's something that you can notice in your environment that feels or seems steady or solid or neutral. Something that your eyes like or your ears appreciate. There might be a sound. There might be a smell. There might be a texture that you really like. Notice what it's like to orient to those things. P is pendulate. Depending on your awareness, pendulation either refers to the organic rhythm of the nervous system to move between what feels like what we might call the trauma vortex, what feels activating or what feels frozen, what feels incomplete, and the counter vortex, what feels possible, what feels resourcing, what feels achievable, what feels completed. Something that is wanting to happen that gets to happen. So pendulation either refers to the natural rhythm of moving between these two things. The nervous system has this natural capacity to move between the two. And sometimes trauma and adversity interrupt that natural rhythm or that natural flow. And so in the scope model, pendulate refers to the shifting of attention between the two things. In the hopes of helping stimulate that organic pendulation that the nervous system is capable of. And what that can look like is notice an area of the body or a sensation that feels tight or tense. Maybe there's tightness in the legs or in your chest or your jaw, or discomfort in your belly. And see if you can shift your attention between that and a place in your body that feels maybe like the opposite of that. A place in the body that feels more solid, more calm, that feels more loose, where there's more spaciousness. If there's an area of the body that feels hot and fiery, see if you can also notice an area of the body that might feel more warm or cool. And if you like, you can hang out at the edges of the places in the body that feel the one way, and then bring your attention to the areas of the body that feel another way. And notice what happens. See what it's like to extend your attention and awareness outward from the areas that feel caught in a stress or a trauma response to the areas of the body that might feel a little bit less of that, or a bit more neutral, or that feel a bit more quiet, or that feel a bit more flow, or there's maybe a bit more ease. We've got the two horses modeling that a little bit for us. There we go. We had Ruby just now, who was relaxed and feeding, and Brando in the background, who's paying attention to something next door. He's a bit more alert. There are horses at the property next door. I think that just got turned out. So just notice. Notice what it's like to shift your attention. And then engage. Thank you, Ruby. The last letter in scope is E, engage. Engage and reach out to those who can lend support. Maybe there's someone that you can orient to who has a bit more capacity in their nervous system at the moment to hold space for yours. Maybe there's someone that you trust, or even just the memory or the awareness that there are people who are there, who are supportive, who are helpful, who care. And notice what it's like on the inside to start to bring your attention to that. And so that's scope. Feel free to listen as many times as you need. And remember, as Peter Levine says, no one can do it for us, but we really can't do it alone. As we wrap up this exercise, notice what's different. Notice what's different as you shift attention, even for just a moment, to what's happening here, what's happening now. If you find it helpful, you may wish to add some self-touch to support a sense of containment as you go about your day. How might it be to bring contact to the outsides of your legs? If you're sitting in a chair, notice what it might be like to press in on the outsides of your legs or the outsides of your knees. As your knees press out into your hands. Or you might have your two hands flat underneath your armpits at the top of your rib cage, giving yourself a hug. And pressing in a little bit or squeezing there. And allowing your breath to come in and really feeling the lungs breathe in and fill up and really feel the contact with your hands as your lungs inhale and you feel the support of that hug. Or it might be that you have one hand on your chest or one hand on your belly or one in either spot. And allowing yourself to just settle in to feeling the containing and comforting quality of feeling held. In the midst of what can be a difficult time. Scope and containment practices are not intended to try to make things better or make the hard things go away, but to provide a bit of a shift in the rhythm to help remind the nervous system that what goes up can come back down, to help restore a little bit of resilience so that we're not stuck in unsustainable nervous system states for prolonged periods. It may be that in a few minutes or in a few hours, you notice your nervous system start to begin to mobilize another response. That's okay. See in the midst of that if there are opportunities to support deactivation, coming out of activation or immobilization back down into deactivation and aliveness, even if it's just for a moment. We're meant to mount responses to certain conditions, and we're meant to have those responses deactivate after they've served their function and after those conditions have passed. And sometimes conditions seem at never ending, or we keep getting slammed over and over and over. And it can still be helpful to use things like scope, containment strategies, and other ways of resourcing the body to support pendulation, to support deactivation, and the discharge of whatever load has been building up to help get through the next waves, the next things. So we'll wrap up here for today. Be well.